Hey everybody, it's BitBurner. Hey, and I'm going to show you how to create a cool track inside NanoStudio. And NanoStudio you can download for free from Blip Interactive. So I'll put that link in the description there. But you can download it for free for Mac or PC, and it'll run on your Mac or PC. The only thing you won't get is the multi-touch that you would get, say, with an iPhone or an iPad. Excuse me. So you'll want to buy either the iPhone or the iPad edition if you really want to get into the instruments and stuff. But with this, we can lay down some sort of track. All right. So I've created a new project called Lesson One. It's basically a blank song. I have nothing in here. I'll try to explain the interface as we go along, just so you kind of get your way around. Here's our controls over on the right corner, how to play and that sort of thing, and undo if we've been recording something here. This undo is for this recording. We have other undos like this history down here that has to do with editing stuff in the song area. We have the song which we're in now. We have all our instruments here. And we have up to 16 instruments, which includes the mixer. And if you click and hold, you can change these between an Eden synthesizer or a drum machine. The TRG is a drum machine. So right now we have one drum machine and 4 synths. So maybe we don't need all these. So I'm going to set some of these to none. It doesn't hurt to have them in there. But maybe I want actually 2 drum machines, so I could set those to 2 drum machines. And so then when I click on them here in the instrument panel, then this is this drum machine, TRG2 home. So I go in here, here's Eden, so here's the synthesizer, and then I can add more if I need to. Also, each instrument, if I click this slide out here, has multiple tracks, so you could record again with the same instrument, with the same settings, with different hits and pressure plates. It's kind of interesting. I don't really use that much, so that's that. Also, here's some mute, solo, and make sure that the record is on for those tracks if we do something with those tracks. I'll explain all that a little bit as we go along. This is my looping area. The area will loop. This will loop this is basically my project area. So if I'm working a little area, maybe I'm working on a beat and I want it down to a little area, I'll keep it in here and just record in that area. Or maybe I'm working on the whole song, I'll have this out towards the whole song. Or just maybe laying down just the beat at first, and I just want this to loop around. Notice the loop is on here in the corner. I want this to loop around, and I can set down a beat or something like that. Mixer, this is where I can mix all the tracks, and as I get more in here, this will fill out. And this is my master down here, the final out. And then I can actually add effects to each channel. So there's a little trick here with drum machines. There's actually 3 channels on a drum machine. So if we go here to our drum machine, we could see that when we're in edit mode, we could change the bus between 3 buses. Those are the 3 channels. And those 3 channels have different effects. So this is the effects for channel 1, channel 2, and channel 3. And so you can split those up. And I use them actually to split them up for the mixer. So I can actually put on different effects for each of these channels inside a drum machine. And so we'll see this in a second. All right, so we want to start a song. We need some sort of, basically some sort of foundation, like a beat and stuff. The best way to do this is to use NanoSync, which you on your iPad or whatever, enable this. And if not, you will need to use there's an actual folder, a resource folder in the program file folder where you install this, or in the app folder if you're a Mac person. And you can put your samples in there and stuff. But normally you would enable this, and then you can put another piece of software on your PC or Mac and sync that, and sync all your samples and stuff. And they actually give you, if I look at the website here, they give you samples, free samples from Loop Masters that are just great. There's a bunch of them that they give you. So you have a really great kind of library to start with and do cool stuff. All right, so if we look at our instrument here, the TRG, I want to load up some samples. So I'm going to go into edit mode for this drum machine, and this is an empty pad, so I'm going to load. And I'm going to go back here to, because it always dumps me in the projects folder at first. I'm going to go in my samples folder. And I should have got, oh, I didn't put my samples in there yet. So I will get my samples and start back in a second. Alright, I figured it out. It's a little bit different on the PC version. So here's how we load our sample. Let's load, and look, I have a little Explorer, yay! And so this pulls up in my Explorer window, and it actually goes into my Documents folder. There's like a Projects folder in there. Then there's my User folder, and here's my samples. And then you can see I've put in all the downloadable ones. And there's also this Essentials Chip Sounds Volume 1, which is a really cool sound pack that is by Henry Homesweet, and I'll put a link to that, and that's really cool. We might use some stuff in that. So there's a lot of stuff in here, drum loops and things like that. So we can add these, preview them. It's a lot easier to preview them in here. So I'll show you how another way we can do this is if they're actually in the samples folder, they'll actually show up in here. And so when you use this Explorer, this is if they were outside of this samples folder. I would way rather do it in this sample folder. So let's go look at some. This is some of the stuff that came with it. All right, so there's some stuff to use in there, and I really dig this chip stuff. And we have loops. So there's drum loops. And I'll show you how to use some effects and stuff like that. But really what we'll do is we'll build our own drum out of the kick drums and stuff that are on here. So we want a good kick drum. So let's go through these. I kind of found one here. The 3 is really a hard hitting one. Ooh, 10 sounds good. Ooh, 15. Okay, so we got our little kick, and see there's some effects on bus 1 a little bit or something. See that? Oh, see, effects was up a little bit. I just want that raw sound from there, and I'll keep that kick on bass 1, and we'll do it on. Oh, we're at 120 BPM, so let's change that on the song. We go down here to Tools, and we could change our BPM right here. So I'm gonna go to. Well, some of those loops were 130, so let's do 130. Usually I work about 140 or 128.6 or 7. All right, so 4/4 scale. All right. So we want to go back to our instrument here, which was this TRG. It's nice. It underlines the last instrument you're on. So if you're out doing other things, you come back, you're like, oh, I've got a ton of instruments. Which one was I in? You can look for the underlying one. Also, there is a way to rename this particular thing. I'm not sure on the PC version how to do it, but all right. So we got our pad, and I'm gonna put it on this this quarter beat right here. All right. So we get a bass kick drum. There's a good, nice bass kick drum. Okay. So right now we're gonna go. Let's look at our song. We're gonna go 5 bars. So let's see back here on our deal. Let's start recording. So I'm watching that little red number up in the corner there, right here, because that's how long that little loop is that I made. So if we look here down at the song, we can see that's to the loop. All right. So I see I got a little gap in here. So I'm going to click on this part, and you can see I've got some things here. This side lets me make it shorter, and this side lets me move it around. Okay, so I can move this clip around. And then I've got an edit button, and I can go in and edit the pieces of the clip, and you can see this isn't stretched out all the way, so I fixed that. Oh, sound like it hit twice there. All right, so hey, look at that nice kick. So if we wanted to actually add 2 kicks right here, you could actually copy that. That sounds kind of cool. Oh, I'm still recording here. I don't need to do that anymore. I can just play. While you record, you can just record and stop recording and record and stop recording, or just play and record any actions of the buttons and things like that. So it's not that big a deal that I left it actually going. do that a lot sometimes. But the undo would undo if I actually did anything there. So maybe this one, we'll do this one half piece. Oops, I moved this one shorter. That one shorter. So it's easier just to copy a bunch out. Whoops, I got a second one. That'll make it double beats and that'll hit harder and stuff. So not really what we want to do. We can make this one hit harder. Just make copy it on top of each other. There you go, like that. All right, so we're done with that. That's this clip right here. So which is TRG. And so we can stay on here and do some more. We need some hi-hats and stuff like that. So let's go in here and we're gonna go to edit mode and we're gonna fill up this one. We can just let this play, this little loop, because we need to. Okay, those are the kicks. So we need to go out and get some snares. Kind of like these zones up at the top here. Okay, so right here I have this quantize on, and I really want to kind of quantize this to 1/8 beats in case I mess up a little bit, and that'll be a little bit forgiving. Because I'm not used to this, I'm just clicking with my mouse, so this is actually kind of weird. So here we go. Wait till that gets to the end. So it sounded like I did it bad, right? But because I had this quantize on, it's gonna fix that all. So let me go in here. So now we gotta go in the song and check. And you see it did pretty good. So let's add a couple of here. Should be a couple beats here. Alright, so hey, pretty good, we did that part. So I'm going to extend the area here, and we'll need to make this a little bit smaller. There we go. Stop that from recording, and we're going to copy what we've done here. There we go. And then we're going to work on this part. So we've got our kind of like lead in with the beat. And actually what we'll do here, copy this again, and we'll work on this third part. And we'll go back to this, let's stop this, and we'll go back to this first part here. Okay thing, not responding. Oh, because I got the zoom on. Okay, so, and that zoom's not going to work, I guess, in this if it's not multi-touch. All right, so this first clip, I'm just going to take out the hi-hat that I had, so it's just the kick drum coming in. And that should be that. Alright, so now we're going to work on adding some more cool trick stuff in this little spot. And this is where like we really want it to pick up. So we want to go into our instrument here. We still got these guys going. Let's go into edit. Let's replace this one here. First we'll clear it. I don't need it there. And load it, and that'll start us back in our folder. If you don't clear that, you'll start the folder that was in, and that kind of messes things up. So we're looking for some little sounds here. So I like these kind of too. So let's see. Let's quantize it 1/16 because I want to do. Actually, yeah. Let's see what happens. That's okay. So let's go in and edit that. I guess that's okay for now. Okay, one thing I want to do though is I want to split this instrument and this snare off from each other. So the best thing to do is to put them in different buses from each other so I can control them better. And one thing I want to do is make sure none of these outputs, oops, I'm still recording. None of these outputs are, for these effects are going unless I really want them to, which I don't really want to do until the end. I just want to get a bass kind of, you know, filling out. Alright, so I got that little guy in there. That sounds good. I have an idea. We're going to do another copy here. And we're going to add in one of those loops. Sometimes I don't like to use the loops because I like to make kind of my own thing, but I just want to show you guys how to use loop. And we'll just do it right here on this, this track here again. We'll go into edit and we'll clear this. Whoops, let's clear that out. Hold on, go back to the left corner here. This tom and we'll clear it out. I don't want to start in that folder. Okay, now we're in the right folder. And there were some loops here. Here we go. So these are some of the beat loops right here. These are pretty good. These are really nice loops. So you see they're all 130 BPM because that's what we made ours. I like this one. All right. So this is where it becomes tricky because this is a loop we want to kind of keep going and or add in. So let's see how long it is with the trigger right here. We have it on trigger. There's hold, so I'd have to hold it. See? And there's loop, and I'd have to hold it, but it'd keep, as long as I hold it, it'd be looping. And there's just trigger, just to play the length of that track. So I'm going to watch up this thing right here and see about how long it. Okay, so it's about, I don't know, half the length of the little piece we're working on. It's actually a little bit more than that, but it cuts out. So there's all sorts of neat stuff you can do with this particular clip. You can, let's say that this BPMs was off. We can auto BPM it. We can transpose it ourselves and make it fit more. We can actually go in here and edit the sample itself. So we can see the sample itself. Maybe you just want a piece out of this. You can actually go in here and just trim out just a little piece and make that your sample. So I'm not going to do that, but that's the power of this, which is pretty cool. All right, so we want this to trigger at a certain time, so we're pretty much done with that. And we're going to record. I'm going to watch, so we're at the beginning of this part. Okay, now I didn't get it right on, and that's okay. So I'm going to go in here and edit, and you see where I got it. I was late, so I'm just going to move it to the beginning. Yay! And I think about halfway through it cuts out. So about my cat. What is your problem, cat? My cat is tripping out on me. What is wrong with you? I think his brother's outside or something. Oh, hold on. I gotta let him outside look for his. All right, interruption by cat done. All right, so this should be okay. Let's try it. Alright, sounds cool. So this is where it really starts kicking off. Here, let's listen to the whole song now. So So we got our beginning, right? Oh, got a little heavy bass there. All right. A little added stuff coming in. All right, so I'm going to add a couple more of these because this is where it gets cool. And maybe we just do a little thing where there's a little pause. Let's get right to that point. See how long that gap was? That wasn't cool. So let's close this gap. See how we can go do the signature down? And I'm going to just move these with one little piece. All right, but we need something right here. Let's extend that and add. Where's that? Do we have another? We need another sound to go right there. So let's go back to that tone. Bass drum. Let's get that rid of this ride here. Clear that. And load up. Oh, not this. We want some sound effects. That's fine. Perfect. So, I'll show you a little trick because I don't want to have to record that again and stuff. So, I just want to add that little piece here. So, I'm going to go into Edit. And if I look on here, there it is right here, the effects one. So I'm just going to copy this little piece, copy, and then I'm going to move it up. Now it's on the effects, and I want to move it out here. And let's start and see what's up. I'm going to put it right when it hits right here. There you go, like that. All right. So we got a little break there. That's just kind of cool right before it gets good. So let's hear that again. All right, perfect. So what I want to do here is I want to turn back up the signature to 4/4 so we don't end up getting a little off. So you can see we're a little off here, and we can fix that later with another break. But when I do certain things with the synthesizer, I want them to be in 4/4 time signature, and if I leave it in the 2/4 1/4, then it sounds all really all weird. So okay, so now we want to lay down. Let's lay down some synth. Okay, so there's some great synth sounds built in here, and I'm gonna just get these in the middle here. Pretty cool, right? All right, but we need like a kind of like a bass line. So really what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna go to a blank, let's stop this. I'm gonna go to a blank bank here, and I'm gonna make my own sound from those samples. So I'm gonna go get a sample and load it from, and I actually saw some sound tones here. That one's good, big fat bass. So remember number 5. Ooh, that one's good. I think we found the kind of 2 that'll suit us already. So 5. It's a nice, good tone, but there was that one. I'm interested in this. Go ways in. All right. I'm interested in this one. Alright, so what I want to do is I'm going to put the LFO here on number 4, and I'm going to bring this amount down, which will let me, this LFO, bring the rate up when we go to a beat. Here, I'll put it to beat, and we'll put it on like 1/8 beat. Let's try this. Okay. Let's try this. What else do we need here? Oh, wrong one. Here we Oh, I don't have it on sine. There we go. Need it a little faster. Perfect. Alright, so we got, let's move this in the corner. We should really fast here. Perfect. So we can play with this a little bit here. Alright, so this is my loop, and I can transpose it lower if I need to, and that one's actually does pretty well. And I can change, I can make this into a glide right here, which is pretty good. So we're gonna use that like that. Alright, to record our little area here. And then we're going to crunch this up with some filters afterwards. So don't worry about and add in record some of the wobble and some of that stuff. So let's just get something in here, okay? So I'm going to wait till this gets to the end a little bit here, and then I'll start recording, and we'll so I'm going to start. Something like that, right? Something easy. We can always play with it afterwards and change it up and with the sequencer, okay? Okay, I'm going to start recording. That did a lot, and I might, for some reason, I started like way at the beginning of the song. Oh, well, yeah, because I had this whole thing open. All right, so that's okay. But look at all these notes we get to play with. Woohoo! Look at all that. So that was actually pretty cool, and we may just keep some of that. All right, so it's not like gliding. So we can, you know what? We can always fix that. So we go in back into our synth here. See how the glide time might be not long enough? Change the bend entrance here too. Alright, now we have some fun with this synth right here. Okay, see, here's the hidden synth. And we want to crunch it up. So the best way to crunch it up is this fifth planet right here. Yeah, here we go. You can go lo-fi. Sometimes I can get some really good sounds. There we go. know if I like the lo-fi or like this. Perfect, right there. Okay, so we might want to bring up the basses and stuff. So here we're gonna get a EQ in here. Really thick bass. Now we can put this EQ before, see how it changes, or after. Big difference. Notice our levels here. We don't want to tap out, we're just tapping out. We can bring down the mains. All right, perfect. All right, so now we've got this bass line. Sometimes we like to have you know, some other things going on, and I think you guys kind of get the idea from here. So I'm just going to show you how I would do my mixer effects and stuff now to some of these parts, and then a mix down, so I don't spend too much time doing this. So here we go. I'm back to the beginning of the song now. And I'm going to record, and this Eden synth, I don't really want it to come in right away with that bass line, so I'm going to bring that up after a little bit here. So here we go. Alright, so you can see I messed up on that, so I'm going to undo. Bleh. So, when it come in here, I want to know at what point I might just bring up just right at that point, right after that blip. You can just... Too bad it doesn't take the mute as a record for some reason, and I don't really like that. Let's see if we can get this. Perfect. Alright, so we have that, so it ramps up, and you can see it shows the dials there that it recorded there. And you can see this is where I kind of wanted to, is it right here I wanted to kick in? So probably what I'm going to do here is just cut everything. Cut all this. Bye stuff, sorry. Here we go. And this bass line is kind of boring. There's some mess up parts here, like right here it goes down one. Let's get rid of that. But let's make it a little bit more exciting right here. This can be fun. Zoom in a little bit here. these into little chunks. Then we'll cut this one up into chunks. Notice I clicked off twice because I had another one selected there, which is not cool sometimes because you end up editing too. It's not cool. Copy. Let's listen to this piece. Oh, some stuff way up here. That's what's causing the weird sounds. Okay, so I can move this down. There's another one in there I need to delete. There we go. Look at there. Fixed. So, look at we got a hit in there that we don't need, really. Okay. Let me zoom back out. Doop, doop, doop. Here it comes. Let's hear it. And now that this is actually done, and I don't need those knob turns that are there anymore, so I'm going to make sure that they're not in here. There they are. Woo. I need to get rid of those. Because I changed the position of this, so I didn't change the position of those volume knob turns, so I want to make sure that I get those. Those are in the note button. So now I can shorten this. And I can put this right at the beginning of where I want it to start. Oh, we're gonna have to go down to quarter notes. So I can put it right on there. And now I'll go back. See how it sounds messed up when I went down to quarter notes? Okay. But now it's fixed, and alright, so here we go. So, and actually I didn't have to use the mixer too much right there. But I would like to add a little bit of kick to this bass drum. So let's do an EQ. Maybe just a little. Delay. And so that's how it cuts off at the end there, but I think there's a little delay on the bass will sound good. There we go. Perfect. So we got a little bass. So, oh, look at, we're maxing it out almost here. So we need to maybe turn down this bass. It's okay to turn down things because it gives you more. Oh, see, on that double bass gets real loud. It gives you more space for dynamics and stuff. So you don't want to hit any peaks really here. Ah, we got some peaks. It's when that second bass comes in. So what we may need to do here is put in a compressor on the bass. So let's put a compressor. Compressor makes loud noises louder and soft noises softer. So what we want to do here, did I put that on the wrong one? Oh dang it, what did I put it on? I put it on Eden. Here's how you get rid of one. You hold on it and then you set it to none. Didn't need that one. I need to make sure it's on this one. Yay. Compressor. Let's see if it hits on that bigger note. It's still a little. Come down on there everything of it. Alright, so we keep hitting this part of the song right here where I stop everything. I'm just going to close it off on a right beat there. Everything. Okay. See? Alright, good. Didn't max it out. But let's see when the other instruments come in. That can add to the all overhead. So let's see. I think our compressor is working, which is keeping the sound just basically down a little bit. Let's see when we get the bass here going, if it taps out. Oh, look at that. Big time. So, I don't know what we're going to do about that. Turn the bass down a little bit more. There we go, right there. Alright, so we basically have our track, and so now I would want to basically mix it down. So I'm going to save it, and I'll go to mixdown, and I'll do a final mix. I'll render the tail. That just makes sure that it gets every sound as it plays out to the very end, and a little tiny itty bit of silence at the end. Tiny bit. The entire song in a wave format. Wave is uncompressed. All these other, like OGG and stuff, they are compressed, so you don't want to use those really. So I'm going to mix down to a wave, and I'll call it lesson 1. And ta-da! It is done. And now I can post this to SoundCloud. And usually, if you're on the iPad version or the version on your iPhone, you would get a little pop-up to actually upload it to SoundCloud. So, well, I hope this little tutorial has been useful, and you guys can actually see how NanoStudio works and create some pretty cool little tracks. All right, guys, have fun. All right, bye-bye.